Are you controlling or are you dominant as a man? This is critical that you understand the difference between these two things, because women are going to call you controlling and insecure, and they're going to use it as a manipulation tactic against you. So a lot of guys are afraid to say anything to a woman. They're afraid that if they assert themselves or create some kind of boundary, then she's just not going to want to be with them. So I've got an email from a gentleman that is going through this process. I'm going to read this email. We're going to dissect this and understand this. But I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what you think is the difference between being controlling and insecure and being dominant and secure, right? Women are attracted to men who are dominant and secure. And a lot of times, I've said in many videos how your girl, she should not be having guy friends, right? She should not be hanging out with guys. She should not be doing girls' night out, going out to nightclubs, all this kind of stuff. And so many guys can be pushed back. They're like, if I tell a girl that, or if I have told my girlfriend or wife or whatever it is that I'll break up with you. She says no, she's not going to listen to that. So if you're curious about that, by the end of this video, I think you'll understand exactly how to phrase this and why you're getting that reaction as opposed to her actually being more attracted to you, which is what happens when guys do this right. 2.5 months ago, I broke up with my girlfriend from a 2-year relationship. I didn't feel loved at all during that relationship. 2 days later, after the breakup, a mutual friend on Facebook added me, and we started to talk a lot and hit it off. We finally met at the gym to work out as friends, and then unexpectedly fell for each other hard. We'd be together a majority of the time before she goes to work for a police department during the day, or when she wakes up, she'd go to the gym before night shift. She introduced me to her family and friends. I noticed this one friend of hers would always be FaceTiming her every time that I'd be around her or while she's on the way home from work. Okay. Now, the thing that he hasn't said here is that this friend is a guy, obviously. So she has a guy friend that she's FaceTiming. A stop should have been put to this, right? The problem is, as a man, when you allow yourself to be disrespected, when you don't actually have boundaries, the longer you go with that, the more of a shock it will be if you do try to implement them, and the less that someone is going to believe you, and they're going to think you're just trying to make a stand, or you've had enough, and now you're going to try and show that you're dominant. So it comes across as weakness. So right here at the very beginning, if you're dating this girl and she's behavior, right? For example, if you say that every time you're around her, she's FaceTiming someone, or even if it is a girl, that's not cool, because why is she doing that when you're around? She should be paying attention to you, right? This is not appropriate. You should be putting an end to that, or just not hanging out with it, you know what I mean? So he says, she'd be all lovey on me, kissing me and telling me, have a good day at work. During the day, decorating the front of the house with planets for stuff for the holidays. I think plants, maybe planets, I don't know, making it her home. Okay. So on May 27th, we're all having fun at the pool and having food. She has past trauma from a relationship/marriage. Her marriage was controlling and she wasn't allowed to drink. Her friend that's always FaceTiming her was at the party. He handed her a twisted tea after she had 5 and tried to give her a 6th one. And out of concern, I said to her, hey, please be careful. When she drinks, it's like she's dead weight and can't move unless I hold her and walk her to the bed. The guy friend would always give me weird vibes. Her and I are broken up and she hasn't been texting me as much or calling me. Do you think it's worth trying to fix the relationship? I tried every way I could think of to fix it, but she's extremely short with me on the phone, and I've been giving her space. When she texts me, it's only to get her stuff at my house. She told me I've molded my life around her and controlling because I told her to be careful while drinking. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this story doesn't make very much sense to me. It does and it doesn't, right? So why is this woman reacting this way? Why is she acting this way to this guy that supposedly she liked, right? What's going on here? Let me break it down and I'll tell you exactly what's happening here. So like I said, first of all, he is coming across as controlling, and the reason why is because he's being indirect with what he wants, right? As a man, you have to be direct with what it is that you want. Do not suggest it. Do not. I always say that the most effective thing to do is to say, I don't like this, or I don't like something, right? When you're like, oh, hey, be careful about the string. She's already, okay, she's got a guy friend that's hanging out with her and hanging out with you, and he's giving her alcohol, he's giving her drinks, right? And that's just inappropriate to start with, okay? That's not cool at all. What is this guy doing? It doesn't make any sense here. So it's very disrespectful. If I was dating a girl and I was at a pool party or whatever, and she had a guy friend, and this guy friend was hanging out with her and giving her, I'd be like, I would express my displeasure about that right away. I would be like, nah, this is not cool. Who's this guy? Okay, so why is he giving you drink? Why is he here? Are we here together, or are you with this guy? Because you just, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I'd have a problem with that. I'm like, yeah, that's weird. I would walk off. I would be done, right? You have to have respect for yourself, right? Again, it's not like you can just start dating a girl and suddenly come into her life and be like, oh, you can't hang out with these guy friends. But if you seriously date a girl, which it sounds like you are, and again, here's the problem, right? Of the blurry lines of this dating, right? You don't be exclusive with a girl unless she's earned that exclusivity, right? And it's been talked about, right? So the default is that you're not exclusive, right? If you're going over there, she's living with you, whatever, or she's coming over to your house and she's staying over there and she's putting her stuff in her house, your house and stuff. And okay, don't allow that unless she's actually your girlfriend, right? And if she is your girlfriend, then you got to make some ground rules very clear and straight. I tell this all the time to guys is, look, you have to have the captain of the ship talk. If you don't know what that is, you can watch my video on that. You have to talk about the 6 rules of relationship. If you don't know what that is, you can go check out my Better Than Perfect podcast with my wife, where we talk about all these things. As a man dating a girl, you're dating plenty of girls. And then a girl comes to you and she says, hey, I want to be exclusive with you. At that point, you say, okay, that's fine. Or she might not even say it specifically. She might be like, okay, where do we stand? What are we? Where are we going with any of those questions, right? That's her trying to say, I want to lock you down. And you can't be the guy trying to lock her down. That just, it comes off as so pathetic, all right? So listen up. What I want you to do is you wait until she says that, until you're playing the field. But once she brings up that conversation, that's where you have leverage. My guys, listen, you don't have leverage after it. You have leverage before it. At that point, you say, all right, if we're going to get together, if we're going to be exclusive, here's the kind of things that I'm looking for in a girl that I'm dating. If you're going to be my girlfriend, whatever it is, I don't really want to date a girl that's hanging out with guys. Like, it's not cool. I don't like it. If you want to do it, that's fine, but I'm just not going to date you exclusively because it's just disrespectful to me, right? You don't have to agree with me. That's cool. It's fine. But that's how I am. Okay. I don't like the girls' night out, the drinking, even the drinking so much. That's another thing here is, look, this chick is getting sloppy drunk. What the don't allow a girl to get sloppy drunk. That's rude. All right. For a girl to get sloppy drunk in your presence, that's just rude to do. Now, if you're both drinking together or whatever, and even still, she should have some class to not get so fucking drunk that she's passing out and that she's a dead weight. Just get rid of that girl. You got to say something right away. You can be like, look, that's not cool at all. You know what I mean? You want to have a couple of drinks, that's totally cool, but I don't like that at all, right? I don't want to see you friggin' shit-faced drunk in front of me. That's rude. If I did that in front of you, I would consider that rude. That's rude behavior. That's not respectful to me. That's not cool at all. So you got to address this shit right away, okay? Now, maybe the girl's going to be like, oh, I don't want to date you because it's so early on, but you have to nip it in the bud, okay? And most likely what's going to happen is, see, this is where you become secure and dominant versus insecure and controlling, because you hit it right away. You're like, I don't like that. I'm going to hard pass on you if you do that, right? That's not controlling at that point. I have standards. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. But when you're already in the relationship, when you're already let things slide, and then you're trying to now assert yourself or trying to be gently like, I don't like that. Now you seem controlling, because it's like, who the fuck are you? You're just some pussy. And now you're trying to tell me what to do? Fuck off. You understand? That's how women think about this. That's how they see you, right? They might not consciously process this, but okay, getting back to this. Again, that's what happens when you're going to date a girl exclusively. You set the things that you want in the relationship because you have the leverage at that point. Now, if she doesn't agree to those things, that's fine. You can date her casually, continue. But if she wants to upgrade the relationship, this is what it costs to upgrade the relationship, because you're a high value man. All right. Now, when we get down to this pool party thing, what was going on here? Like I said, the big problem here is that he's already allowed himself to be disrespected so many times. It's just ridiculous at this point, okay? And then here's the thing, right? Why is she at 5 or 6, and then now you're saying something, and why are you saying it in such a little pussy kind of way? Just tell her. She already knew that you're a pushover. She already knew that you were weak, and that's why she did this stuff, right? Had you told her, look, I don't like girls that get drunk in front of me. I just don't like that. Like, a couple of drinks, that's fine. It's just, It's not cool. I don't like it at all. That would have actually had a better response. Now, she might have still got pissed and be like, you can't tell me what to do in controlling whatever. But okay, in response to that, you're like, you're right. I can't tell you what to do, and you can do whatever you want to do. But I'm not going to be hanging around someone who disrespects me like that, and I don't like it. I think it's tacky. It's not very classy. That's it. So have a nice day and take care and bug off, okay? And she did that right away. She would have then been chasing you, calling you, apologizing, most likely, okay? Do you understand the difference here? When you set a boundary as a man, what you're saying, okay, and the difference really between a boundary and being controlling is a boundary is, this is what I will personally tolerate. If you do this, if you cross this line, if you do this thing, this is what I am going to do. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm just letting you know that this is a boundary for me. This is my bubble, okay? This is what I allow into my life, which I have control over. And if you do this, then you won't be in it. I'll be doing this, or I'll be taking this action. I'll be leaving the room. I will shut down this conversation, whatever it is. I'll turn this car around. Whatever it is, it's what you have control over, okay? Being controlling is trying to force someone to do something. That's, hey, don't do this because it upsets me. I don't like it. If you do it, I'm going to get mad. That's being controlling. That's trying to manipulate emotionally to get someone to not do something or do something, right? Boundaries are just like, hey, you can do whatever you want to do, but I can do whatever I want to do in response. So as a man, what you have to really learn to exercise is the important words, which are, I don't like this, and this is what I want. That's when you start using that, what you're doing is you're making it so that the woman, in this case, is seeking your approval. Women want to please a man. They don't want to displease a man, but a man has to display his displeasure. And when you're too much of a nice guy and a pushover, you don't display your displeasure. You try to softly talk about something and you're changing the context of it. So when you say to her, what is the exact words here? Let me bring this up. I think he said, when you say, please be careful, okay, that's weak. That's pathetic. What is that? You don't like it. You don't like it. You don't like what she's doing. Do you think that's classy? You think that's cool? No. When you say, please be careful, what the fuck are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm pissed at you. I'm like, what, you fucking wuss. Like, why are you doing this? Just say, I don't like it. If you don't like something, say, I don't like it. Don't try and manipulate me by saying, please be careful, or being this little white knight pussy ass guy. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how you're coming across. That's why she's treating you this way. That's why she's, oh, you built your whole life around me. You're trying to be controlling. It's because you're trying to lock her down because you're so afraid of losing her. That's why you lost her. So you can't be afraid of losing her. You got to be yourself. She's, okay, I just collapse this guy into nothing. He's going to very lightly be like, oh, please be careful. And then when I get pissed off, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to apologize and try to talk to me and try to give it. He's not going to be like, look, whoa, back up here. What'd you just say to me? No. Look, I asked you nicely to be careful, but the truth is, I don't like this. This is ridiculous. What the fuck is this guy doing here? I don't like him, okay? And it's rude, all right? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave the situation, all right? And you deal with and do whatever the hell you want, and he can clean up your mess and whatever the fuck. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily say those words. You can't just take shit from people. You can't just take shit from women. You have to understand. And again, by the time it's gotten to this point, it's already gotten too far, okay? You should have cut this from the very beginning, right? As soon as you start interacting with a woman, don't be afraid to immediately tell her what you don't like, right? On the very first date, all right? So many guys, women shows up late to a date, first date. You don't say shit. You're just like, oh, it's okay. No, you don't have to be a total dick about it, but be like, hey, this, what happened? It's like 10 minutes late. And she's, oh, I had to, it's okay. But is this a habit? Is this what, I really don't. I think it's a little disrespectful to show up late for a date, whatever you let, or you say, or if you want to be joking about it, you can be joking. You can be a little bit light, depending on how she responded. You can say, hey, man, you know what that means. You owe me. You owe me a drink. Yeah, you're late. You owe me a drink. That's it. There's gonna be consequence for this. You know what I'm saying? You can do something that's a little bit more funny if you want to be. Again, you don't have to be super crazy about it, but you have to correct these behaviors and not tolerate them from the beginning. And yeah, you're gonna lose some women. Some women are gonna be like, they didn't even really have very high interest in you. If when you start respecting yourself, that they don't have respect for you, they don't, if they're blowing you off because of that. But I can guarantee you, majority of women are going to come back to you because you're a man who's actually dominant and secure as opposed to one who's controlling and insecure. Can you see how this gentleman, that he came across as insecure and controlling? Why is he insecure? Because he's afraid. He's not secure in himself. He's afraid to say what he's actually thinking. He's afraid to rock the boat. That's why he's, please be careful. That's why he allowed this guy friend to just be hanging out here with his girl and giving her freaking alcohol. That's not appropriate. Look, if can you imagine? Let's say, I don't know, there's some guy with his girlfriend or whatever, and I just start giving her alcohol. The hell? I would expect to get my fucking block knocked off. I wouldn't dare do that's just fucking rude. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone can see that behavior. It doesn't matter if he's her friend. It doesn't matter if I had a girl that was a friend. I'm like, she's there with her boyfriend. I'm not talking to her and hanging around and giving her alcohol. I would be like, look, let's be respectful here and let her do her thing and not interfere with that situation there. Yeah, maybe I'm hanging out. I'm talking to someone else, whatever, in a group. That's fine. But you don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So you're coming across as insecure because you're not saying what you want. Okay. And then it's coming across as controlling because you're trying to get her behavior to change, but you're doing it indirectly. Whereas if you're secure and dominant, you just say what you don't like. You just say what you don't want. You just say what displeases you. Okay. And you have boundaries. And so that's not controlling. It's dominant because it's like, hey, this is what I want. I know what I want and what I don't want. Okay. And it's not insecure because you're not afraid of anything. You're not afraid if she's going to leave or whatever. It's, hey, I'm secure in myself. I'm secure in my masculinity. I'm secure where I am. I'm secure to say these things. That's why, again, you guys that are like, oh, I told my girl that I don't like her going out to nightclubs and she just does it anywhere. She's, I don't care. It's because you're coming across that way. You need to be very direct about it. Again, you don't need to just yell and have an argument and say, don't do this. I'm going to ban you. Again, it's having a boundary, right? I'm not going to date a girl who goes out and parties until 3 a.m. It's disrespectful to me. I don't like it. When I was first dating my now wife, Nicole, she was talking about going to a bachelorette party. And so I was like, I don't really like that. That's all I had to say about it. I don't need to get into a big discussion about it. She doesn't want to do something that I don't like. That why would, do you understand what I'm saying? Is I immediately am going to express a disapproval that I don't like that. I'm not going to be disrespected. So if you don't do that, if you don't establish yourself as a man, then yeah, a woman is going to walk all over. She's going to disrespect. Now, if you want some help with all this stuff, I know this is complicated. I am opening up some coaching and some relationship coaching. If you need some help, really the psychology of women, understanding them. If you're in a relationship right now, please, you probably need to learn these things so that you can turn this thing around, because you can turn it around and have a woman respect you, but you have to do it in the right way. Shoot me an email, john@bulldogmindset.com, and we can talk about it.